What's it about? Or who's it about? It's about me, yeah. Used to be a soccer player a long time ago. So tell me about me, I forgot. Sorry? I'm 30 years old, thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry? Something else. Something else about me, anything at all.
You're in the Navy?
I wasn't in the Navy, but somebody in my family was in the Navy. Do you want to guess who? Not my father, no. Not my brother.
Your mother.
My mother, yeah. and something else.
Your undergrad was social psychology?
Yeah, that's right. My background's in social psychology, yeah. Right. Okay, anything else?
You've been teaching for 30 years.
Actually more. 30 is difficult. I tell you, it's physical. No. It's physical. It's, well, that's physical, I suppose. But it's what? Sorry? Well, yeah, it's not my waist. My shoe size. Yeah, I got big feet. Okay. All right. That's 30 centimeters, not inches. All right. And tell me something else about myself.
You're from Manchester.
I'm sorry?
You're from Manchester.
I'm not from Manchester, no. Where am I from? Weymouth. Not so well known as Manchester. Where's Weymouth? Anybody know? Difficult. Sorry? Anybody know? It's not in California, no. You can probably tell that from my accent. Where do you think Weymouth is? Anybody? It's in Dorset. Where's Dorset? England, yeah, I know. All right. Yeah, southwest. It's not famous for anything, maybe. Thomas Hardy country. Anything else about me?
You have a pilot's license.
I tried. But no, it's not me. It's somebody in my family.
Your mother.
No, my mother was in the Navy. My mother was in the Navy. Not my brother, no.
You're a Tory.
Sorry?
You're a Tory. You're a Tory.
Right wing.
Oh, no, right wing. That's actually not my politics. Anybody want to guess what it is?
Your airplane only has one.
That's why I failed. It was my soccer position, yes. Okay, and pilot, who's a pilot?
Son.
My father, yeah, okay. It's actually a romantic story because my mother and father met in the wartime, so it was, she was in the Navy and he was a pilot. Okay, and you've still some more to go. B minus is my blood. Anybody else here have negative blood type? Yeah, okay, it's dangerous, isn't it? Right. Especially in this part of the world. Very few people have negative blood type in East Asia. Okay, and Ronaldo, Rooney and Beckham. They're soccer players, yes. They're also members of my family. They're my dogs, great. Very good. You can tell which team I support. All right. So let's just look at this. Those are my dogs. There you go. we can stay like this, but they're not always as well behaved. I don't know how they got together in one photograph, but now, question is, why did we do the puzzle?
Get to know you.
Get to know me, yes. But I could have just come in here and said, hello, my name's David, and I've got 3 dogs, and I'm from Weymouth.
To get people invested in to participate. Audience participates. Students.
Yeah. And why does it do that?
It's a challenge.
Okay, there's a challenge.
Keeps us in suspense.
Sorry?
Keeps us in suspense.
Keeps you in suspense, yes. Right, so there's some elements there, isn't it, which actually makes the first activity more effective than if I was to just come in here and say, hello, my name's David and I'm from Weymouth, kind of thing.
It's involved, you got us involved, audience involved.
Okay. Yeah, and why and how?
Because to get our attention focused on you and so you can receive our attention.
Okay, so why does the activity get the attention focused on me? Apart from the fact it's about me, but I mean, the target was introductions, but it could be anything. You could do a puzzle about anything, really, couldn't you? But what is it about a puzzle which sort of, what's the title of today's presentation? I forgot. What was it? What was it? Motivating. Okay, so this puzzle must have something to do with that. No, okay, why did I say I forgot?
So you wouldn't hurt our feelings.
Sure, but it also motivates low-level students to communicate. Why did I say I forgot?
You got us to talk.
Right. Why does it get you to talk?
Everybody likes to show how much they know.
Okay. Why? What about a teacher? Why is it a good idea for a teacher to forget? Sorry?
Less talking for the teacher, more for the student.
Yeah. It also gives you power, doesn't it? So, and a lot of communication is about who has power. And this sort of traditional teacher maybe who walks into a classroom and thinks, well, I should know everything. I mean, that's actually pushing the students down, isn't it? And making it much less likely that they're going to communicate and speak out. Low-level students especially, they're probably used to it. That's probably what they expect, the role they expect. So there's a lot of things happening here just in one simple activity. One, I suppose you could say, it's a puzzle. There's mystery involved. And puzzle is a challenge. You know, that traditional teacher probably thinks that if they explain clearly or they introduce themselves clearly, they're going to do a better job. But I would say, no. It's not all about being clear. It's about being unclear. And that the lack of clarity actually motivates students to communicate. Why? Sorry? Yeah, that's right. And not knowing is so motivating, isn't it? And if the teacher knows the answers, you expect the students to know the answer, you just keep quiet. So what I would suggest is actually putting the students in situations where there's something they don't know, but they're kind of reaching for, okay? Something, and also they think that, you know, if they try, maybe they're going to get through to the other side. That idea of, huh, what's that? But they're going to sort of try to get through. And that's when I would suggest even those low-level students or the students who can't communicate are likely to be a bit more communicative. Even if you've got students who normally just stare down at their desk, even if they look up, that's progress. So it's all relative. You know? We make progress and we work with that, and little by little we gain their trust. Because every time we effectively confuse the students or give them some sort of puzzle or mystery, we make sure that with our hints and with our help they succeed. And so the next time they're more likely, perhaps not just to look up, but actually say a few words. And this builds up over a period of time. So let's get on to an alien. I'm not a, just forget I'm a lecturer today, I'm an alien, okay? And I've just arrived on this planet. And you're going to have to help me. Can I, what's this? A pen. But you'd never ever say that, you know? I mean, actually useful, it's a pen. Well, this is a pen, right? It's a pen. Looks like a rocket to me. What's a pen? What's a pen? That's too difficult for me. I've just arrived. A writing utensil. I don't know. What is it? Is it okay? Is it a person? Is it a human?
It's a thing.
A thing. Wow. Okay, I understand. Thing. It's a thing that I. A thing that I write, like left, right. You know? It's a thing that I write. Write with. Okay, I'm beginning to understand. It's the thing that I write with. Can I? Okay. Yeah, this is. Let's. Can I? Thank you. Let me just choose something which is. I can't. What's this? What's this? A chair. What's a chair? What's a chair? Is it another thing? Lots of things on this planet, aren't there? It's a thing that I sit on. Okay, I'm beginning to understand. What's my language target?
Target is to learn all the things.
That's true. That's true. What's my? I've actually got a structural target here, grammatical target, if you like. What is this? Yeah. Why did? What? Why did I say? Why did I say, like, is it a human or whatever? What do I want you to say? I want you to say what you did say, which is it's a thing, okay? And then what did I say after that? I said, oh, I see, it's a thing that I... And then you helped me say a thing that I write with, okay? And then next time I went to the chair, and I asked, you know, is it a human or something? You said it's a thing, and I said, oh, I see, it's a thing that I... Now, the third or fourth time, I don't have to say anymore, it's a thing that I... Because the students will say to me, it's a thing that you, it's a thing that you, it's a thing that I, whatever, it's a thing that we, whatever. What's my language target? Relative clauses, okay? Now, relative clauses can be pretty difficult for a beginner sometimes, especially if they're not used to communicating. But here we have, within a few minutes, they're just starting to use it. We don't explain it. We don't analyze it. We just give them a situation where they need to use it. And why are they talking to me? Why are they trying to tell me? Okay?
Because you don't know.
Because I don't know. Because I'm an alien. Yeah, that's right. There's a reason. There's a reason to tell me, okay? I'm an alien. I don't mean we should go into every class and pretend to be an alien. Of course, it's just one technique. Because we could try. But there's a reason. There's a reason to tell me that, and I'm leading them towards a way to. So they've got a reason to tell me. There's something they want to tell me, and now they've got a pattern they can use to tell me. So all of those things kind of fit into place, and we've got them communicating using quite a difficult pattern for a low-level student. Okay, we can explain relative clauses, we can drill relative clauses, we can get them doing all kinds of sort of traditional practice of relative clauses, but they still often can't use them communicatively. But here we have, within a few minutes, they're using it. Give them a need, give them a situation, and give them power, and they're starting to communicate. Okay, we could then, for example, go on into an activity where, okay, I'm not an animal anymore. I'm not an alien anymore. I'm an animal, okay? So, you want to guess what animal I am? We'll have team over here, team over here. Right, try this. Say, you've been, say, how about this? Are you an animal that...
Are you an animal that walks on four legs?
Yes, I walk on four legs. Do you want to guess which animal?
A dog.
No, I'm not a dog. Right. Anybody over here?
An animal that people ride on.
Are you an animal that people ride on? Yes, I am. Well, you got it. Okay, but whatever. Maybe it's too easy, but never mind. What would, this activity? Okay, what is it from a language practice point of view? What is it? They're practicing, are you an animal that, are you an animal that, are you an animal that? What is this? It's a drill, isn't it? But it's not a teacher-centered drill. Why isn't it a teacher-centered drill? Because... Okay, there's a pattern there, isn't there? So it's a drill. The pattern's repeated quite a few times, okay? Right, and maybe we'd allow, of course, a lot of flexibility, but still the pattern does occur a lot, okay? Because it's the game rule. The activity rule is this is the pattern you use, okay? But within that, each person who's asking a question is making their own choice, making their own decision about what to ask. Okay, there's something they want to say, so there's meaning and there's choice. So what I'm arguing here is that, okay, so yeah, low-level students do need a lot of practice, okay? They need to practice a pattern quite a few times, maybe, okay? Not too much at one time, go away, come back, go away, come back, but still, within an activity, it's quite helpful to practice a pattern quite a few times. But we don't need to do it in a traditional way. We don't need to do it in a way so that the teacher's making all the decisions. The students can make decisions, the students can make choices, and the students can do it in an activity where whatever they say has meaning. We could then, for example, go back. I could go back to being an alien again. Okay, I'm an alien again, right? And, okay, I'm beginning to understand this planet a little bit, okay? But you know, this morning I went for a walk, and I met this big animal that was grey, and it had a long, anyway, whatever it was, a long trunk. Okay, and I ate it. and, you know, well, I didn't know. And afterwards, I had a terrible stomachache, you know. And I felt really bad, you know. And many people, and I'm saying, help, you know, all these people passing by, they're seeing this sick alien. And, and I'm saying, help. And they're saying, well, go to a doctor. I think, doctor? What's a doctor? Another thing? What's a doctor? Another thing. Could be, yes. What is it? It's a thing? A person. Oh, I see. A person who helps sick aliens. Okay, okay. That's fine. No, but whatever it is, I mean, the thing is that as you could, what am I doing here?
Teaching another relative pronoun.
Another relative pronoun. So we're moving on to a person who. The first 2 or 3 times, I probably have to say, oh, a person who, and then the students start to use it to tell me when we talk. Which, you know, it could be, we could extend the story. For example, okay, so I went to see a doctor, but he couldn't help me. He said, you know, the problem is you don't need. He said you don't need a doctor. You need to learn about this planet. You need a teacher. What's a teacher? What's a teacher? I don't know. Help. What's a teacher? A person who, whatever, teaches aliens. Maybe true. All right. So, but anyway, we could continue with this, and then maybe we could do an activity such as like a jobs game, you know, like what's my job? You know, are you somebody who, you know, are you somebody who works in an office? Are you somebody who gets a lot of money? These kind of activities. And this is a drill, but it's a game, it's fun. And the students, of course, are involved, but they're also practicing the pattern quite a few times. Then maybe we could go back to being an alien and something like this, for example. Okay, I understand about the doctor, but you know, where can I find a doctor? What's a hospital? A thing? You sure? A place where, and as you can see, it continues. Okay, so you know, in this way, we're talking about students who, you know, pretty low-level students, but maybe they've studied at school for a while, maybe for a long time, but they still can't use the language communicatively. But they've got some sort of base, they understand, maybe they've probably been taught the grammar of the language, okay? But the idea is that, so you may be talking about students who, this is actually, yeah, okay, they remember they studied something like this at school, or in their other lessons or whatever, but they can't, that now they're actually seeing a point to it. They're saying that actually this language does have value. We don't just study it as an academic language, we use it for a purpose, okay? So this is another message we need to get across to the students, I think. One issue we have with low-level students, of course, is that a lot of the students have decided that, you know, they prefer to do something else. Or really, they haven't really chosen, if you like, to learn English. It's not a priority for them, okay? You might have a student in the class, for example, who's chosen to stare out of the window or chosen to fall asleep. Maybe not much choice, but it is a choice in a way. There are a lot of theories about this. I mean, one thing which I sort of personally find quite attractive is the idea that, all students are active. It's just that we choose different directions to move in. Okay, so the student who's chosen to stare out of the window, that's a positive choice. You're not a passive student, just prefers to stare out of the window. And that same student, perhaps after the class, when, talking with his or her friends, may be totally engaged in that activity. But why is it that student chooses to be engaged in that activity when talking with their friends and not in our class? Or it could be that it's not until they go home and sit in front of their favorite computer game, when they're sort of totally engaged in the activity. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we kind of understood some of the elements which attract a student to being engaged in front of their favorite computer game but not engaged in the classroom? Wouldn't it be nice? Can we? Any theories? It's more fun, of course. It's more fun, of course, but there's more than that, isn't there? It's worth thinking about. What is it that's attractive to that student about their favorite computer game but is missing perhaps from their English class or from their previous English classes? Of course, it's not your fault. So what is it that's missing? Motivation, okay. Okay? Challenge, okay, sure, okay.
They're not threatened by it?
They're not
Threatened by the computer?
They're not threatened by the computer. So you threaten them? Joking. So, okay. Anything else? Yeah?
Greater control.
More control, sure. Anything else?
Interaction with peers.
So it's more interactive, okay? Okay. Anything else?
Chance for success.
Sorry?
Chance for success.
I couldn't get...
A chance for success.
Yes, sure. Okay, yes, sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah?
Well, when in the classroom, all in all, you're just another brick in the wall. Even they're using the computer, they don't think, we don't need, in the classroom, we don't need no education. We don't need no control.
Yeah, I like Pink Floyd too. Sure. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, it's just
No, that's great. I grew up with Pink Floyd. We're talking about a lot of elements here, and all of these elements, I'm sure, are important. I want to suggest one element which I think is worth focusing on. And let's just see if you can guess what it is. Let's try this. You look tired. Why is Romeo tired? I've been chasing Juliet, okay? Now, why does that make you tired? Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah. She runs very fast. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now, you look depressed too. Why do you think he's depressed?
Didn't catch it.
There you go. Juliet doesn't love me. It's terrible. I can't sleep at night. You should see a doctor. How do you think he answers? What's a doctor? Yeah, a person who... What do you think? What do you think his answer is?
No one can help me now.
I went last week. The doctor said I should drink hot lemon juice after a bath every night before I go to bed. Does it work?
No.
No? Why not?
Well, he's still looking depressed.
I don't know.
I never tried. Never tried it.
So, anyway, sorry about the bad. Yeah. So what's the element? What are we talking about here? Okay. I want to suggest that, that one of the things that favorite computer game has, which the class often doesn't have enough of, is this kind of something here. What is it? What do you think it is? A bird?
A right wing.
It could be. It might be a left wing, we don't know. What do you think it is? There you go. All right, now, so what's that element? If anybody who came to my presentation yesterday, you know the answer, so don't say the answer. I'll give you a hint, okay? It begins with an insect. There you go. What I'm arguing is that one of the things that we need to do in the classroom is maximize anticipation. But what do teachers do that reduces anticipation? I don't think you do it, but many teachers do. What do teachers do that reduces anticipation? Explain. Okay, fine, sure. Explain.
Similar
Sorry?
lesson plans.
Sorry?
Similar plans.
Okay.
Plans.
Okay.
Syllabus.
Fine, sure. Anything else?
They give the answer.
Give the answer, yeah. Give the answer too soon, before the students have had a chance to think about it or to, yeah, sure. Or even give the answers at the beginning. This is what we're going to study today. Just got rid of all the anticipation. Yeah. Right, sure. What else? Anything else? I would like to suggest that, if there's one thing that you take away from this presentation today is to next lesson, see if you can increase the amount of anticipation in the class. And if that's the only thing you take out of today's presentation, it's worth giving it a try. Without just the more, there is one of my favorite theorists, a guy called George Kelly, a long time ago, put anticipation at the center of his theory. And really, he was saying a lot of things, but really, the conclusion I drew from that was that anticipation and learning are part of the same process. That we can't really separate the two. And I would argue that if we can maximize anticipation, we're going quite a long way towards maximizing the amount of learning which is going to take place. A lot of other factors as well, but this is a core factor. And certainly, we're likely to bring those students who may not be so motivated, to give them a more real sense of a natural way to learn, the way they're allowed to be in front of their favorite computer game. Okay? The argument is that learning is a natural state, that we can't not learn. Our minds are always moving. We're learning. But we choose which direction to learn in. And in certain kind of situations, we're allowed to be ourselves more. And in other kind of situations, we're not. And the school conventionally can easily be a kind of artificial learning environment, which is sort of something which is imposed on the students by the teacher or by the school or by whatever, the education system. It comes down to really whether the student feels that they're allowed to be themselves in the classroom. And if we trust the students, if we say, okay, the students are natural learners, then let them be themselves. Give them power, give them control, allow them to make choices, and maximize anticipation. Not by just providing the answers too quickly. There's a stage at which perhaps we do need to provide the answers, but it's more a question of leading the students towards them than providing them, really. Okay, let's try some very simple kind of activities. Here's a dialogue. I don't think we'd have probably ever used a dialogue like this, but you never know, okay? Dracula's teeth, okay? So maybe all the guys can be Dracula and all the ladies can be Mrs. Dracula. So guys, come on. Where? Mrs. Dracula? Dracula? Mrs. Dracula? Now, let's say, what's my language target? What's the language target of this activity?
Preposition.
Position, but it's kind of exact locate positions, isn't it? It's in the glass on the shelf, okay? Rather than just it's in the glass, it's under the newspaper on the table, okay? So it's more exact locations, right? So, which is a useful thing for a low-level student to be able to learn how to do. Okay, now let's say we did a dialogue like this for one reason or another, and afterwards we wanted to do something very boring like checking comprehension. Now, you know, it's like one of those things where we want to be sure, did they really get it or not? Okay? Now, comprehension checking is one of those kind of stages of a lesson where often the sort of the involvement in the class will go down, okay? Because it's kind of like it can be a fairly like a classroom activity, okay? For example, let's say we wanted to check the comprehension of Dracula's socks are under the newspaper on the table, okay? Right. Are Dracula's socks under the newspaper on the table? Yes, okay. Now, that's one way of checking comprehension, but it doesn't work. Why not?
It's only input.
I'm doing all the work. I really don't know if you understand or not. You've got a 50% chance of getting the right answer. And really, I haven't checked comprehension. I have no idea now if you really understood that or not. You could have just said, yes. I don't know. How about this one? Dracula's socks are under the newspaper on the table. True or false? Dracula's socks are under the newspaper on the table. True or false? False. Well, you're wrong, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the method, okay? The method. No, that doesn't matter. The method. It's not. It's you know. And yet, why? Why are these methods so often used? So often you pick up a book or you pick up. You know. So often, yes, no, true, false. What does it achieve? It's you know. It maybe looks neat and tidy on the paper, but it doesn't really achieve anything very much, I think. Let's just change it a little bit. Let's start with this kind of methodology. Let's say we want to use this kind of methodology. I'll just modify it a little bit, okay? Are Dracula's socks in the refrigerator? Are Dracula's socks? No? You sure? Say, where are Dracula's? Say, yes. Say, where are?
They are.
No, where are?
Where are Dracula's socks?
Okay.
They
Yeah.
are under the newspaper on the table.
Okay, your socks.
Where am I?
No. Question say, where are my? Where are your?
Where are your socks?
That's great.
My socks are under my bag.
Are they?
Other socks.
Okay. All right. That's okay. Anyway, you can see it continues. Just a small change of a traditional activity. A small change of a traditional activity makes a big difference. You know, you get used to the technique. The students get used to the technique, and once they get used to it, I don't have to ask the first question. The students will ask the first question even, so I don't have to do anything very much. What's the technique? What was my first question? Yes, and what was the? Okay, my first question in this case was, are Dracula's socks in the refrigerator? What's the answer? What's important about the answer to the first question? The answer.
Always no.
The answer needs to be no in this technique. Why?
Gives an opportunity to create the next question.
That's right. But if the answer is yes, stop. End of conversation. Nothing more is going to happen. You say, are Dracula's socks in the refrigerator? And the answer is no. So this means that when the students get used to this, they look at a text and they just ask each other lots of absurd questions about it, and they get some sort of they get some stimulation from just being more and more absurd, or they listen to it, they listen to dialogue or read a dialogue, and it just makes it more fun, makes it more interesting. And then of course what happens next is that, are Dracula's socks in the refrigerator? No, they aren't. So where are Dracula's socks? Okay, fine. They're under the newspaper on the table. Then what happens next? It's personalization. So comprehension, whatever activity, what I'm suggesting is that whatever activity we do, the language doesn't need to stay on the paper. Okay, we can bring it out into the student's life. Even something as boring as comprehension checking, we can bring it out into the student's life straight away. And the students just get used to this. Whenever they have a question, they'll do it on the paper and immediately put it into each other's lives. You know, so in this case, it's where are your socks, okay? And then they could start, you know, where's your computer? Where's your bag? Whatever. So, and then immediately we can take a sentence, from any sentence, not any sentence, but many types of sentences from the paper or from listening, and we can bring them into students' lives. And little things like this make an exercise just feel more valuable, even for low-level students. And it's manageable because they're used to it. You know, they're used to comprehension checking probably, and it's just adapting something which a kind of technique which they're used to already. So it's very achievable. Let's what I'd like you to do now is, in pairs, just find somebody near you, okay? And one of you is Dracula, and one of you is Mrs. Dracula, and just read the dialogue to each other. Just choose somebody near you, okay? Okay? Now, speak very quickly, very quickly. Where is your Speak very quickly. Now, speak slowly, very slowly. Now, quiet. Shh. Quietly. Where? Now, loudly. Now, romantically. Now, violently. All right. Okay. That's okay. Now, that's okay. That'll do. So, what's the point if there is one? Okay, we've got adverbs as language. Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah. And lots of things you can do with adverbs. Anything else about it? Yeah. I mean, there could be something important in the dialogue which we want the students to remember. I mean, this dialogue, yeah, sure. There may be things maybe there's something there we really want the students to get hold of, and they want it to be memorable. Okay, and this kind of activity, sure, it just adds a different dimension to it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the violent part every time, but depends on your students. Now. Can you see this okay? There you go. Okay. Now, this is one of my favorite toys. Now, we're going to have two teams, okay? So one team over here. Who'd like to try? Who'd like to, don't shoot me. Who'd like to shoot? From the back it works, it's no problem. Yeah? Okay. Let me just There you go. You want to try? Yeah. It's better to stand up, I think. Okay. Well, if you stand up first, that's okay, because otherwise you're... Yeah. It aims high, so you need to aim lower than you think you're aiming. Sorry.
Oh, I see what's happening.
That's great. Okay. So, which one was that? Frunkled? So please make a sentence with frunkled.
Yesterday I woke up and I felt crumpled.
What were you frunkled about?
I was crumpled because my pantyhose got to run.
Wait, can you? You know, I get quite frunkled. Well, I get frunkled before giving a presentation like this. May not look like it, but I do. I get pretty frunkled before giving a presentation. When do you feel frunkled?
Excuse us, could you tell us what frunkled is?
When do you feel frunkled?
You're making me feel a little frunkled.
Do you want to, when do you get frunkled?
I'm frunkled right now.
That's okay. That's great. Okay. No. So let's try another one. Somebody from over here who'd like to try. Anyone who'd like to shoot? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes? Okay, great.
I'm a horrible shot. Yes.
It aims high, so you need to aim lower than you think you're aiming.
Okay, so I aim lower.
Okay. All right, so that's okay. So which strunking, there you go, strunking. So
Yeah.
what do you what do you find strunking? What do you think is strunking?
The cars at rush hour. They're so strong.
Yeah, it could be. You like them, do you? You like them?
I get tired of the people stalking.
All right. Yeah, I'm a, maybe you guessed from the names of my dogs which team I support, but I find Manchester United games really strunking. And I was disappointed last night because I fell asleep just before the game. But there was a really strunking game on TV last night. What do you find strunking?
Stronking? Drinking 5 cups of coffee a day is stronking.
I suppose it probably is. Just while we're about it, we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to rush this a little bit. There's one, of course, other word here, which I'd just like you to think about. When do you feel splugged?
Which was it?
When do you feel splugged?
When I speak as Dracula violently to her.
That's a pretty good time to feel splugged. These days, if I was to play soccer, I'd be really splugged. Okay. When do you feel splugged? I can't reach. When do you feel splugged? Not sure? When do you feel splugged?
Tuesdays at 3:30.
That'll do. Okay. That's great. Okay. Now let's. As I said, we don't have a lot of time, so. Who here is telepathic? Now you don't have to tell me. Are you telepathic?
Unfortunately not.
No, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you telepathic? Are you telepathic? Are you telepathic? No? Are you telepathic? Shall we try and find out? Would you like to come here? All right, now. So there are 3 sentences on the board. What's the first sentence? What's the second one? What's the last one? Now, which one? Choose one, okay, and don't say which one it is. This is okay. Now close your eyes, and can you remember the sentence?
No, give me a second. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, send out the sentence to everybody. Now, everybody, close your eyes. Close your eyes and try to receive the sentence.
Got it, man.
Okay, you got it? Right, how many people think it's the first one? My students feel frunkled just before the exams. Okay. What about the second one? I think my classes are strong, but my students don't always agree. Not so popular. What about the last one? I feel splugged after teaching a while. Looks like that. What's the answer?
I guess I'm obviously lazy when it comes to memorizing sentences. It's the third one.
Yes, you're not lazy. You're not lazy. You're telepathic. There you go. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, this is a bit rushed, but I think you kind of get the idea. What is the idea? What am I not doing? I'm not explaining, am I? I'm not teaching, but the students are kind of working it out. I'm letting the students work things out. Yeah, well, you worked that out. I didn't need to say that, really. So well, let's just summarize. What do you think I'm arguing for? Create, begins with a P. Create paranoia, no? Create pandemonium, no? Create, there you go. And what am I arguing? Be facetious, no? Be, that as well, maybe. Be fallible. Don't some people think we should do this at the end of the lesson. First we should teach in a controlled way, then in a semi-controlled way, and finally we should... I disagree. I think first we should personalize, then we should personalize, and finally we should personalize. The language doesn't need to stay in the book. Maximize. There you go. Okay, so thank you very much for coming. That's all I have time for. Thank you.